Boom! Hey, how's it going, guys? Teach Me Grappling and Brian Peterson. I'm back and I'm showing you guys one of my best wrestlers. His name is Ben Gould. There's a little snap down and a go behind. He's working on the wrist control. He decides to cut his opponent. When you cut your opponent, it's when you let them go. That's a high crotch, and he changes off to two legs, more of a hip, and then takes him down, puts in a half Nelson. Our opponent is fighting to stay off his back. We were able to put him to his back, but we decided we we're going to let him go again. This is common when you're at a tournament. Instead of pinning your opponent right away, you try to get some work in. Right here we go for an ankle pick or kind of a knee pick while we control his head. Our opponent actually almost hurts his leg, so the referee stops the match and makes sure he's okay. So we're on top. We're going to freestyle start or optional start. Putting him to his back. We're lifting his legs up in the air. We decided to let him go again. We let our opponent get in our leg. We're actually looking for sumigeshi, but our opponent controls our leg, so we kind of do a nice little jump out, little flip counter with a single leg, and we take him down. Again, our opponent is outmatched, but he's doing the best he can, and this is the way of the world. This is how wrestling works. In on another high crotch, changing off to two legs. Lifting his legs up, trying to put him to his back a little bit. Ben is a senior, so obviously he's one of the top wrestlers in the state. We hit a little cartwheel to a double leg, and our referee does not like it. So he actually hits us for unsportsmanlike conduct. I didn't agree, but it's the referee's choice. He didn't like the cartwheel. So now he's explaining. You can see both wrestlers are enjoying the match, and he's explaining that we can't cartwheel, so he doesn't like it. Again, so we head tap, penetrate through on a double. Notice how good of a penetration Ben gets. We're looking for an inside cradle. Our opponent is able to flatten out, so we don't catch him with that. We stick our right leg in, and we're working on what's called a power half Nelson, and time expires in the first period. So there's 3 periods in the wrestling match. Referee flips his coin, and we get choice. We defer. That means we give our choice to our opponent, and our opponent chooses neutral. So the referee signals neutral. We're back up on our feet, and looking to set up a new takedown. We let our opponent in on a leg again. Again, he doesn't give us our position, so we hit another little flip and roll out. That kind of flip is allowed. We hit a nice little low ankle attack, and we get the takedown, and we cut him immediately. And again, back in our stance. Opponent goes for a leg again, and his shoulder's been bothering him. So the referee stops the match, checks on our opponent, makes sure his shoulder's working okay. So I cut a little bit of this match out. He had a couple injury timeouts on his shoulders, so that was bothering him. I'm sure wrestling Ben didn't help the situation. Again, he's back down. So we get to start back on top. And I believe this situation where we told Ben, go ahead and finish him. So we knew we didn't want to get our opponent hurt. You know, we are trying to get work. We're trying to get a sweat, and we're trying to get in better shape. So we just put in a half Nelson, and we get the pin. So, but this is common. I mean, some people feel like it's unsportsmanlike to cut your opponent, but it's part of wrestling, and when you're outmatched, you know, it's something that happens. It happened to me when I was in school, and as well, I've had a chance to do that as well to my opponents. So, again, we take a little single to a double. Come up with the double underhooks as our opponent defends our leg attack. We get a nice throw right to his back, but our opponent's game, so he fights off his back right away. So very nice. We're on top. We decide to cut our opponent. And next technique we're looking for, nice check a shot. Our opponent down blocks. In on another shot. We're fighting with that duck under. Body lock. Take him to the left. Nope. We take him to the right. And bring him down nice and safe. So, posting on his head, we hit a little 3/4 Nelson. just kind of roll him over. That actually didn't score any points, although that was fun to watch. We put our leg in, and we're cross-facing, putting him on his back right here to get some near-fall points. And I decided to cut right here because people were in the way. Russian 2-on-1 right here. I think Ben's going to step in, for an Uchimata. Our opponent loses his balance, so we follow up. But we actually didn't score the takedown. Another 2-on-1. We sprawl, and now we're looking to pull him up. We want to go for a move where we hit like a fireman with the head control. Here it is. And we hit it very, very nice. He learned that from Helen Maroulis, Olympic champion. And back in the day, Satyev from Russia used to hit that technique quite a bit. So, anyway, our opponent elects to go on top in second period. So we're down. We try to stand up, and we're looking for a certain technique. We want to work on what's called a standing Peterson. We attempt it, but our opponent doesn't allow it. As he brings us back to the mat, we're able to turn. He got called for locking hands as we get our reversal, and we decide to release him and give him a 1-point escape. So we're ahead by quite a few points at this point in the match, and we're getting close to the end here. So Ben hits a duck, does not work. The opponent had an underhook, and we hit a nice cartwheel to take him to his back, and we go towards the mount. This is a position Ben likes to use quite a bit. Again, we're just looking to control him, just like in the jiu-jitsu match, control the mount position. This is not real common in wrestling, but it does happen. A lot of people call it the Saturday night position. I don't use that term anymore. I just have my wrestlers, I call it the mount, just like we do in jiu-jitsu. So Ben hit a nice moves in that match. And here he is. I asked him to give us a little flex. This was the end of day 1 at the tournament. I wasn't able to get every single piece of footage, but we got some good stuff for you guys to check out while I'm at this wrestling tournament this weekend. So Ben takes a shot, and we're able to power through him. Again, Ben is just so strong. He makes it look so easy. For you guys out there that are, believe in technique, certainly technique works, but it doesn't hurt at all to be strong. So Ben's doing what we call the rock out and then threading the needle, putting the kid on his back. We lost control of the wrist, so our opponent fights off his back. We're going to release him and go back on the attack. Keeping our stance, we're looking to be aggressive. Nice little head tap setup. Double legging him right to his back. We're able to pick up his arm and get some near fall points, little bonus points off the takedown. And Ben doesn't want to pin him just yet. He wants to get his workout in and work on some new moves. Work on some other moves. He's listening to his coach right now. I'm just on the side. I'm having the assistant coaches work. Nice little duck under to a high crotch, and we're able to run the pipe and swing him down. So Ben's checking the clock and the score, seeing what it is. Little low single attempt, not good enough. We counter with a duck under as our opponent defended and are able to get the takedown. So we got his legs split right there, and then we decide to cut him again. So checking on a cradle. That's a common attack nowadays. A lot of the best guys, when they look like they're going to let you go, but when you think they're going to let you go, they actually come down on you with a cradle. It's a move that's always been done, but it's getting a lot more popular nowadays. Guys from Penn State hitting it a lot. Guys like Jason Nolf are just killing with the cradle. They feint like they're going to cut you, and then they cradle you. So this is my life, guys. Wrestling tournaments every weekend right now. We're in season. Again, Ben breaking him down. Our opponent grabs our leg. We look for a chin and an ankle, trying to catch him on his back. I remind Ben he's got to watch his own back, make sure he doesn't pin himself. That is possible. You could pin yourself in wrestling, so you always got to watch your own back. So they get choice, and looks like they're going to choose top. So They haven't been able to do much on bottom or top or on their feet, so they choose top against Ben. We don't mind because it's a good chance for Ben to work on his escapes. Again, Ben hits a nice little switch there, and our opponent hung on so tight that he went for a little ride. And we catch him, put him on his back. And we're trying to go for the fall now because we've got quite a big lead. It's going to be a technical fall, 15-point lead, so we want to get the fall for bonus points for our team. Again, we're stepping off to the side. Nope, we come back to the mount. Our opponent's doing a good job of fighting. He does not want to give up the fall or the pin. And Ben's going to step off to the side a little bit and make a big mistake here. So we end up going for a head and arm or a headlock position. And just as we do that, we lock our hands around our opponent's head illegally. Very rookie mistake. You would not think that Ben Gould would make that mistake, but you know, he's a good wrestler, but obviously not aware at that moment in time. Made a big error, and I decided to ridicule him a little bit, give him a little shellacking to remind him not to make that mistake. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back tomorrow. We got another tournament day. Thank you guys so much for your support. Bye-bye.
Way to go, bonehead! Just kidding. Good job, dude.
I kind of had the arm.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
I kind of had it.
Yeah, you had the arm, and you also had your hands locked around the head.
I put the pressure on.
Good job, Ben.
Very good. Thank you.